Hello everybody and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews, where today we'll be taking a look at the TOMY Sonic the Hedgehog Collector Series 8-inch Dr. Eggman plush. More specifically, the modern Dr. Eggman plush. And this guy is part of TOMY's fourth wave of Sonic plushes, officially third, but really fourth, since the first two waves ended up being split into three waves, but I digress. Let's just talk about this guy. And before I even say anything, you can probably see that this guy has some very interesting proportions. Yeah, TOMY definitely went for a bit of a more chibi style to this Eggman. I mean, he pretty much just uses classic Eggman's proportions, just a little bit thinner. But he's basically just a base classic Eggman, just dressed up as modern Eggman. But honestly, I don't mind, since this guy is still a very nice detailed plush. And honestly, I think he looks better as a plush for it. But anyway, so for details, we'll start off with the face, where honestly, I think this is probably one of the plush's strongest suits when it's done right, because this guy and Classic Supersonic are the two plushes in this set that have some pretty horrendous quality control. I've already shown off my Classic Supersonic, but Eggman, as you can see, mine actually looks pretty good, which I'm glad of, but I've seen a lot of Eggmen that look really bad, like different sized glasses. His mouth is way too far down and poorly embroidered. His mustache can be way too far up, and his eyebrows can... Wait a second. Eyebrows? Eggman shouldn't have eyebrows in the first place. Why does this guy have them? Well, I mean, I guess that maybe they're supposed to be, like, these little details above his eyes here, but... I mean, like, honestly, like, I get the idea of TOMY including them, but they just don't look too good. I mean, like, maybe if they were embroidered in roughly the same color as his skin, but I mean, like, they just look like eyebrows because they're bright orange. Though, honestly, though, I can't say I don't like it, because I honestly do like the look of them, even if they're not accurate at all, but, I mean, the glasses, or, well, yeah, I guess glasses. Anyway, the lenses are pretty nicely done. They use a lot of nice blue embroidery with a little white stripe going down to simulate sort of a shine. There isn't a bridge for his glasses, but that's fine, to be honest. He has a nice red nose, and his mustache is probably the best part of this plush, to be honest. It's cut to perfection, and I mean, it just looks like a perfect Eggman stash. Underneath of that, you can sort of see his mouth, which isn't actually in the standard Eggman smile, instead being much more angry. And again, like, this mouth looks very weird if the mustache doesn't cover it this much. Like, I've seen a lot of plushies where, like, the mustache doesn't even cover the mouth, and that just looks really weird. But, like, mine actually looks pretty great, where you can just see, like, the bottom of the mouth, which, honestly, I think looks pretty good. I got some great luck with the Eggman I found. But anyway, you can see his ears, which look pretty strange, to be honest. I kind of wish they just stuck with the same just little nubbins that they'd gone with for classic Eggman, but it's alright. And I mean, just to be clear, yes, I'm going to be calling him Eggman through this whole video, because I think of this version, the modern interpretation, as Eggman. I mean, like, I think of the classic design as Robotnik, but this is Eggman, in my opinion. So, yeah, but anyway, yeah, just wanted to get that out there. But anyway, the goggles on top of his head are nicely cut from some felt, and you have some nice green embroidery on there. Like, he even has his collar, which can actually even be flipped down. I mean, like, this is a really top-notch and very detailed plush if you can get past the very chibi style. And I mean, like, getting down, speaking of the jacket, like, oh my gosh, this is so detailed. Like, you have so much embroidery here. You have sort of the white line down the middle for the zipper, I guess? That's a zipper, right? But anyway, You have the jacket linings on the sides. You have these two things that I've never known what they are, the white circles, but they're nice. The linings even continue around to the back. The jacket's cut. I mean, like, it curves around his body, and it hangs freely as well. Like, you'd think it would be attached. Like, I mean, it's attached in here, but, like, no. Like, all of the tails of it just hang down loosely, which I think is very nice. And again, they just make this plush have a very natural look to it, which I love. Obviously, his body is pretty much just black, but his legs do have some nice gray patterning on them, which is accurate. I mean, and honestly, there are a few mess-ups in this design, but honestly, I don't mind, to be honest, since, I mean, again, this is just a very intricate plush. He has these embroidered silver spots on his shoes, on both the outside and inside, or, well, shoes, boots, I've never known. I mean, they're kind of just part of his pants? What would you even call these? I don't know, but anyway. And, like, he does have gray soles for his boots. So, yeah, this Eggman's pretty great. I mean, wait a second, I forgot to talk about his arms. Honestly, his arms are also pretty great. Mine seems to be sort of oddly stuffed up on this one, but it's pretty nice. He has this really nice fist, which, I mean, it's definitely quite oversized, but again, this is a very chibi guy, and I like the fist. It's put together a lot better than some of the other plushes. Like, this actually looks like he has a thumb there, which is a lot better than I can say for example, Sonic, who just looked sort of strange. His other arm, though, is pointing, which I like, because it sort of reminds me of some of the classic Japanese plushes from all the way back in the 90s, in the early days of Sonic, when a lot of the very early Eggman plushes had a pointing finger, such as, for example, the very iconic and rare Sonic the Fighter's Eggman plush. And, I'm glad to say that this Eggman only has 5 fingers. Obviously, you have the thumb, or 4 fingers and a thumb, which is good since a lot of Tomy's earlier plushes with posed hands, such as their 8-inch classic Sonic and 12-inch modern Sonic, actually had 6 fingers, because they patterned it to have 4 fingers here, and then they also included the main finger, so I'm glad Tomy's finally decided to fix that, since it does look pretty strange when they have 6 fingers. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Eggman himself, just as the plush. I mean, we'll get into the tags in a minute, but honestly, this guy looks pretty great. I mean, again, quality control is a thing. I have seen some with, like, really awful faces, and also some mediocre designs on the jacket, but to be honest, I think this is a really great plush, and, yeah, it's just very nice and detailed. But anyway, going into the tags, you can see that here we have Eggman's paper tag. It has the standard modern Sonic design, if I can speak, with this nice render of Eggman. It's pretty nice. I like the render. I mean, it doesn't exactly match the expression or pose of the plush, but I don't think that there is a specific piece of artwork this plush is modeled off of, so I like it. I'm perfectly fine with that. But normally I don't show the tush tags, aside to show that they're colored and have the appropriate logo for classic or modern Sonic, but this time I will, because this plush actually has something new in it that I've never seen on any of Tomy's other Sonic plushes, so it's interesting to note. Because so far, every single one of Tomy's plushes, at least as far as I'm aware, have been purely filled with plush stuffing. But this Eggman, well, did you hear that? He has plastic beans inside of him, and sure enough, because I was a bit confused when I felt that, but sure enough, flip to the tush tag, all new material, content polyester fiber, plastic pellets. This guy has little plastic beans inside of him. This guy is filled with mean beans. I'm sorry. But I mean, honestly, that's just kind of a weird thing, because I mean, I'm guessing that, like, they might have done it so he can sit down better, but I mean, I don't know, since, like, a lot of these plushes could probably use a few plastic beans in their bottoms, because as a guy who displays these guys sitting down, it can be pretty difficult to get most of them to actually, you know, sit. So honestly, I kind of wish that they would start putting plastic beans in some of the other plushes, you know, just to help out a little, but at least this guy has them, and to be honest, I kind of like the inclusion. At first, it threw me off a little, but I honestly kind of like it. It's a good idea. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Eggman as a plush, but something I always like to do in these review videos is to sort of compare him to some other plushes TOMY has released, to see how they go together as a line. And I feel so probably the most prudent comparison for Eggman would be to compare him to his rival, the Blue Blur himself. So let me just go grab Sonic. Specifically, TOMY's first modern Sonic. I did not pick up the second modern Sonic they made that released alongside this Eggman, because, you only need one. Or, well, that's a lie. The real reason is because I couldn't find it. When I got to Target, it was already gone, so, yeah. But anyway, comparing this guy to Eggman, obviously they're not going to be in scale, since Sonic is, 3'3", and Eggman is a human in-game, but to be honest, I think the scale here is fine. I'm just picking them both up. You can see that, Eggman is about, he's about, 3/4 of an inch taller than Sonic, which I think is a good enough difference. Sonic's about 8.5 inches tall, and Eggman's about 9.25 inches. I think it's a fine difference, but perhaps we should also bring in Eggman's debatably greatest creation, that being, of course, Metal Sonic. And this is where the fun begins, because, well, I'll just move Sonic off to the side here, because here's Eggman, here's Metal Sonic. Yeah, for some reason, Metal Sonic is, TOMY's tallest plush. He's, 10.5 inches tall. And he's supposed to be the same height as Sonic. He's supposed to be, 3 feet tall. I don't even know why TOMY made Metal Sonic so huge. I guess I'll bring in a Chow, because we all like to have Eggman in the Chow Garden in SA2, and don't you even deny it. You like Eggman in the Chow Garden. Ah, look at that. This is such a cute scene. So, yeah. And then he falls on his face, which, honestly, at this point, Eggman should just give up. This is an accurate depiction of what Eggman should do for the next few years. Come on, Eggman. It shouldn't have been that hard to win in Sonic Forces. You'd have to be a real idiot to lose when you had the Phantom Ruby. But I guess that's what you get for giving it to some emo guy instead of, someone actually powerful. But I digress. It's not as though they could have actually done anything with Forces that could have made it interesting, but this is a plush review, not a game review. I can't wait to get a bunch of comments telling me that Sonic Forces was the greatest game ever made. I don't care how fun the Avatar was, I'm just saying that the story was, or he wasn't, I'm just saying that I didn't like the story. But anyway, as for this Eggman plush, though, he's pretty awesome, to be honest. Yeah, he's definitely kind of oddly scaled, quite a chibi plush. He's definitely, the quality control on him is definitely very off, so I would not recommend ordering him online. And I would recommend trying to find him in store, because if you can get a good one, this guy is very nice looking. Definitely one of TOMY's most detailed plushes by far, and not even just for Sonic, but, in general, this is one of the best plush efforts I've seen TOMY make. Look at all that embroidery. By gosh, and barely any of it has any mistakes. This guy just looks great. He has so many fabrics to him as well, so many different colors. And this guy, again, he also just has a lot of shapes to him. He has the head, he has his nose, he has his mustache, he has little ears, he has the jacket with a collar, he has his body, he has his legs, he has his shoes, he has his hands. There are just a lot of different designs going into this guy. This is just one of TOMY's most complex plush efforts yet. I'm just fixing the tag. So yeah, if you can find this guy at your Target or, well, some other stores might have them. Like, I'm pretty sure they've shown up at FYE and Books A Million as well, but so far I've only been able to find them at Target. So yeah, definitely pick them up. Pick this guy up. But that's just my opinion, but for 15 bucks, this guy's pretty great, I think. So, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.